What's up everyone, Jared here, and I've gotten in another phone from my friends at pandawill.com. Now this is the UMI IRON, and it has an eye scanner. But is it good or just a gimmick? Well, stick around and find out. Now I have to admit, the IRON does look pretty sharp. The back, sides, and buttons are all metal, with just the back's top and bottom panels being plastic to allow for antennas to get a better signal. And it's got this awesome notification light bar at the bottom with that cool breathing effect. And yes, in case you were wondering, you can change the colors to suit your needs. So what we're looking at here is a 5.5-inch IPS 1080p display. It comes with 3 gigs of RAM, an unfortunate 16 gigs of internal storage, but we do have an expandable SD card slot, an octa-core MediaTek 6753 CPU, and a non-removable 3180 mAh battery. The display is pretty decent, being an IPS panel with nice sharp lines, and I mean, at least it isn't a TFT panel, but I have seen better color gamuts on similarly priced phones in the past. It's not bad, but it's not wowing anyone anytime soon, and viewing angles could also use a little improvement. It's running Android 5.1 Lollipop with UMI's extremely light UMI UI, which is basically almost 100% stock Android, with just a few hints of UMI, like in the app drawer icon, for example. But other than that, it feels a lot like a slightly modified pre-rooted stock Android ROM, like something you download from XDA developers. For instance, jumping into the app drawer pretty much says it all. For starters, we've got Chainfire's Super SU, and next you'll also notice the Viper for Android audio mod app, which, as some of you may already know, instantly improves all outgoing audio, and it's hands down my favorite audio mod ever. So how about that eye scanner? Well, I mean, it works. Sort of. Basically, from what I understand, it uses the front-facing camera to analyze your eyes in grayscale. So yes, it does work, but you need to be in a well-lit area and hold the phone really, really close to your face and keep it there for several seconds, all the while looking like a complete knob. So in other words, yes, it's a gimmick. Now, the overall device performance has actually been pretty good. I would have preferred the MediaTek 6752 as always, with its overclocked CPU, versus the included 6753, which has been underclocked for battery saving purposes. But if you ask me, the battery savings are so marginal, I'd rather have the small incremental performance increase than worry about squeezing an extra 15 minutes of battery life. But either way, I really have no complaints about performance considering the price. Now, speaking of battery life, it's been pretty darn good. It seems to last me the whole day, and standby time is great, and in my testing, I got a total of 5 hours and 14 minutes of screen on time, with the battery draining from 100 to 15%, so big thumbs up to UMI there. And finally, the rear 13 megapixel camera isn't really too impressive. It is another Sony IMX214, so it performs how you'd probably expect, with exposure being harder to lock down and a softer focus than we'd like. And it also has this weird slight yellow tint it gives pictures, almost like an 80s filter or something. And even though dynamic range is almost non-existent with the IMX214 cameras, it's actually a bit better than usual in this phone. Now, the front-facing camera is an 8 megapixel with a front-facing flash, which, although is still pretty dim, it does still help a tiny bit when needed. So for $190, I'd say the UMI IRON has pretty decent value for the price, with its strengths lying more so with its battery life, user experience, and performance. Anyways, thanks again to pandawill.com for sending this out for review, and as usual, I'll have a link to Pandawill's purchase page in the description below if you wanted to pick one up for yourself. And if you liked the video and want to see more from me, don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. But thanks as always for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Cheers.